Cheers and welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. Yes, I have a Chubby, 2 nuts, and a way to measure it. Sorry, couldn't resist. Just beyond entertaining. I love the marketing on this product. This is the King Chubby from Keg King, being sold by Anvil Brewing Systems. This can be your all-in-one fermenter, keg, everything. Before I jump into that, don't forget, like, subscribe, keep sharing. Definitely appreciate the sharing. I got this recently, courtesy of Anvil. Just want to put that out there. And I know everybody in North America and pretty much the majority of the world probably knows who Anvil Brewing is. But I know there's some people in North America that may not know who Keg King is. Who is Keg King? Keg King is an Australian-based, incredibly innovative home brewing equipment supplier, manufacturer, pretty much the whole 9 yards. Check every little box, you know what I'm saying? They create things like this. It's a PET, which means food safe plastic fermenter. Yes, and you've got little spots in mine. That's calcium deposits. I rinsed it out earlier and it is what it is. It's all good. It didn't have the spots. It didn't come with those. I'm sorry. But they have a reputation for delivering innovative things, including stainless steel equipment, including stainless steel fermenter at cost-effective prices. They even have dispensing equipment, which I've got some reviews of some of that stuff coming up. Yes, some really cool and a totally new way of flow control that I have not seen by any other tap system, which is just really creative, very cool. But I have those reviews coming. We'll get to those. Let's focus on King Chubby. First of all, this is the box. This says King Chubby right here. Anvil Brewing Equipment, Fermenter King Chubby. 7.9 gallons, 30 liters for those who prefer liters. It is, like I said, PET. This one has a 35 PSI pressure relief valve right here. You will have to check the specs when you order it. I know it comes with the 15 PSI, so you know, if you're gonna get both, you wanna verify what you're getting, but this is the 15 PSI. Mine said do not crush. UPS in Jacksonville goes out of their way. I had to wipe the footprint on, totally destroyed the whole box on 2 sides. And here's what's cool about that. This thing is like incredibly durable, incredibly reliable, and I have a little bit of a dimple left, but it was a massive crush here, and on the other side, I put the little pressure relief valve, I pumped it full of air, it popped out, it's not under pressure anymore, and all of my dents are gone. Like I said, I got a tiny dimple, not a big deal. But just very resilient system, just resilient. So, before I jump into how this can be your new keg, let me tell you a few features about this thing. It came with a nice little floating dip tube, stainless steel ball that literally looks like a Christmas ornament. I could see myself, and it's pretty solid, but it's gotta be hollow so it can float, but just very nice. You can put an aftermarket filter on here, not a big deal. So that's if you're doing something like with fruit, or maybe you're doing an ale and it's just kind of a heavy ale. You wanna filter some stuff out a little bit more. A nice slight lager, you're not gonna have that issue. You'll be fine with the floating dip tube. And even if you do cold crashing, you'll be fine because not a big deal. It can tolerate over 35 PSI. Most of the systems out there that are pressure rated are only rated for 2 years. And I've spun it around twice. This one shows it expires in April 2024. It doesn't mean that the system needs to be thrown away if you see that. All that means is that you need to repressure test it so you're confident that it holds pressure. That's all. You just want to make sure. There's many, it's kind of like a roof. Oh, 10-year-old roof? I've seen roofs that are 30 years old look great, and I've seen roofs that are 10 years old that look like they're falling apart. It's all about the quality. If the quality's there, you're fine. So like I said, you will want to test it after 2 years and probably test it for each year thereafter. It's tolerant of 122 Fahrenheit, 50 degrees Celsius max temps. Minimum temps, 28.5 or -2 degrees Celsius. You shouldn't be going below 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit max at most. This is all PET plastic with the exception, and I've not had any problems getting this top off at all. It's very easy. It actually pops out. You have the little ring. You have an O-ring in here. They do recommend you using some sort of food safe grease. Keg grease should be fine. You can put it on there. I haven't needed to, but I probably will eventually, just when I'm putting wort in here in case it gets sticky. I figure that'll help. Stainless steel posts, stainless steel ball lock posts, and one is gas and one is liquid. Actually gas, liquid. But yeah, they're standard. They're not some sort of universal system, and they are stainless steel to be aware of. And of course your floating dip tube goes on the liquid side. You pop that on in there. You put the little cuff over it. Tighten it down. I don't have to really worry about that right now, but it's a habit. I've been doing it. The measuring. The measuring will not come pre-labeled. You can either put it all the way to the top and bring it down. It'll be really close. Otherwise, what I did is I filled it with 2 gallons of water, verified it was 2 gallons exactly, and don't do it by a jug, do it by something that measures. Those jugs aren't right. And then I measured it. If you're somewhere like Canada, you can measure your liters, put it in, verify it. Another little trick, and this is my personal recommendation, comes with a nice little LCD, whatever you want to call it, the little temp thing. I know you're probably going to use a tilt hydrometer or some other type of temperature monitoring system, but it comes with this nice little temp thing, and it's got both Celsius and Fahrenheit. I do not recommend, if you're going to be doing, say, 5 gallons or 19 liters, I would recommend bringing it down here and bring it right around the 2 gallon or 2.5. I'm going to bring mine like I did right below the 2.5. That way, if I do a 5 gallon and split it in half, I'm fine. If I do a 6 gallon, split it in half, I'm fine. If I do a 5 gallon, I'm fine, because some people, you know, I see them put the label way up here. That's not gonna help you if it's above the liquid. I do know it can be a degree or 2 difference on the very bottom versus the very top, but if I'm right here in the middle, I'm gonna get pretty close to what the ambient temperature of the liquid is in there. So I'm good, and that's just my personal recommendation. The fermenter itself is round, but it looks like contact cement glued into this black base, and this black base is very light. Got lots of holes so you can see through it very easily. And it says Keg King, Chubby, 30 liter. So it doesn't fall over. Yeah, that's nice. Here's where I'm gonna tell you that it could be your start to finish. You could literally brew, chill, throw it in here, and then drink it. It's only 23.4 inches tall, which means it's under 2 feet. And it's under a foot wide. It looks wider than a foot, but it says 11.8 inches wide. That fits in a lot of people's keezers or kegerators, and so you could be fermenting. Once it's done, let's say you have a tilt hydrometer or some other type of temperature and fermentation device in there so you know where you're at on your final gravity, or you have an easy dens like I do, and you take a little sample and you go, oh, yep, don't forget the carbonation can make it off, so you gotta get the carbonation out. But once you're good, snap it on there, drop the temperature down a little cooler, and start dispensing. I mean, you're done. If you don't want to put it under pressure, because yeah, you could put something like this, put a hose on it, have it go into like a little mason jar with some water or some star sand and water, just so it can bubble. But if you want to keep it under pressure and you don't want it to go over certain pressure, now if you hit 15 PSI and you have this in there, you'll be fine. But they make a spunning valve. Yes, Keg King, Anvil Brewing sells it. They make a spunning valve. If you don't already have one, theirs is very nice. It's condensed, definitely usable. Works great with systems like this, because like I said, it's small, doesn't take up a lot of headspace. But yeah, I mean, literally, you brew your beer, you put your beer in here, you ferment your beer, disconnect the spunning valve, put on your air, put on your liquid, and just start enjoying your beer. It's that easy. I know, it's that easy, really. So yeah, I'm excited. King Chubby by Keg King, sold by Anvil Brewing Systems in North America. Gonna be brewing a pumpkin beer here soon, and I think I'll be using this to ferment it in, so I'm excited. But yeah, just an amazing system. Super smooth interior, easy to clean. I will say you can't get your hand in here unless you got a kid. If you got a kid, their hand will probably fit. Just saying. But yeah, King Chubby. Cheers. Don't forget, like, subscribe, keep sharing. Thank you.